Coming up on Channel 8 News, how Manhattan have responded to several recent high-profile crimes.
And a new policy by the Kansas Board of Regents concerning how university employees are allowed to use social media. And a story of a former prisoner from the U.S. military prison at Guantanamo Bay. And now to Trent with the weather.
Hey guys, it's a little chilly out here yet this morning. Last night a cold front came through northeast Kansas, dropped just a little bit of rain. But today and the rest of the week looks like it's going to be pretty sunny. I got to get my shades out. We'll check back at the 5-day forecast for Manhattan later during this broadcast. Back to you guys.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University. This is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Morgan Hulsman.
And I'm Shelby Brunk. On today's show, Fake Patty's Day is one of the biggest events in Manhattan. Reporter Matt Harrison takes us to Aggieville to show us how it went last weekend.
Also, a look at the Wildcat world of sports, this week's forecast, and our animal guest.
But first, the news. It began with an update on Carly Gassman, a Kansas State freshman whose battle with cancer we have covered previously. Carly was transferred to Abilene Hospital after leaving KU Med with some complications 2 weeks ago. She is now fighting cancer with her battle in the comfort of her home with her family close by. Friends and family of Gassman says she is still fighting very hard.
Fake Patty's Day is a big deal for K-State students. Everybody is encouraged to wear green, hit the bars in Aggieville, and party for an entire day. Channel 8 News reporter Matt Harrison was on the scene and is here with us now to talk about how safe the event was.
Well, guys, it was really crazy. People left and right were all there to have a good time, but everybody still remembered to be safe with all the fire and police officials.
So were people being safe while out there?
Not as safe as we had hoped, but we're sure that police officials are working on that for safety in the future. Well, there still were so many people that were attending, we really had to have 2 teams to capture the view of the event in its entirety.
How many partygoers does it take to break a window? Exactly 2. They were dancing. But this damage to Cold Stone Creamery was only an exception to the rules. The safety enforcement was top-notch.
The RCPD and all of those people do a fabulous job. I've not really ever seen a problem. They really do a fantastic job.
Brad Streeter was of course glad the cops were around to keep the peace. Brad earned a lot of money that day. It's not just the cops keeping the event safe. Firefighters such as Greg Vandekreek are there to ensure nothing gets too far out of hand.
Everybody's being great. The bars are great help. Everybody's really friendly, doing good, keeping their friends safe and things like that. So.
Students came from all over for the event.
Well, I'm from Lawrence. I go to KU. I just want to show you Manhattan people how to party.
Everybody had a blast, some more than others. But that was only during the day. At night, it's a whole other story. Channel 8 reporter Alex Ayton brings the nighttime
events to you. As the sun went down, the crowds got smaller, not larger. The cheering. The yelling. There were lines for bars, but the streets were nearly empty. Why? According to police, the earlier K-State basketball game wore out the crowd, and the temperatures falling below freezing kept the fake Irish away. Those who were left came from all over.
I'm from Topeka. Can I be in this? It's not that far away. What is this for?
Even with the lighter crowds, business was booming. The waffles were still hot. Brad Streeter was still cooking. For some, it was a night to remember, while for others, it may be a night they will not remember if they can stand up. For Channel 8 News, I'm Alex Ayton.
To anyone who's concerned about students in Aggieville, that glass window at Cold Stone was prepared just a couple days ago. Hands on K-State hiked through Manhattan to clean up the entire area, and they did a wonderful job.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for that report.
The Riley County Police Department had their hands full on Fake Patty's Day. The Riley County PD said that they had 73 arrests this year, which is down from 115 from Fake Patty's Day last year, although there were slightly more citations for open container than last year. There were 6 violent crimes reported, including 4 counts of battery, a strong-arm robbery, and a report of rape. The RCPD wasn't the only local agency out during the holiday. The Manhattan Fire Department and the Riley County Emergency Medical Service were also out in force. It seems as though crime has been on the rise in the Manhattan area.
With a growing K-State and Fort Riley population, more people can cause crime to go unnoticed. I went down to look at some of the recent activity that has been happening in the streets of Manhattan. On the corner of 8th and Morrow is where many arsons started the night of February 25th.
It was a busy night along Morrow for Riley County Police as well as the Manhattan Fire Department. Door handles were melted, cars torched, and plastic debris left in the rubble due to several arsons.
It was like one of those apocalypse movies, really, is kind of what it looked like, because it was just charred and there was no inside. My car looked fine in the dark, but I turned a flashlight on and you could see where there's some discoloration, my handles are all melted, a lot of the trimming melted off and stuff.
It began at the 800 block of Morrow Street. Then 5 minutes later, police responded to a call at 801 Morrow due to a second arson. Then within the next 45 minutes, officers received a third call from the 800 block of Laramie.
Obviously, like I mentioned, we're hoping that somebody knows something and they'll submit that information. That'll help us further in the investigation a little quicker. Otherwise, it's just that good old-fashioned cop work where you follow leads until you get somewhere. So
melted door handles and exterior plastic left victims' cars with damages ranging from $2,500 to millions of dollars. But the arsons weren't just the beginning.
At this time, like I say, we're just investigating and following up on any leads that we do have, and if anybody has any information, we wish they'd call in.
It hasn't been the only problem for RCPD. Rape, assault, and burglary are just few crimes that have happened in recent months.
Obviously, anytime there's a serious crime, really any crime, we'd like to have a successful conclusion to it. We all became cops because we wanted to catch the bad guys. So when there are these serious crimes, we work diligently to try and make an arrest.
If anyone has any information about the arsons or any other ongoing investigations, do not hesitate to call the Riley County Police or Crime Stoppers.
We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, we take a look at the new policy that affects students, faculty, and staff employed by K-State.
And later in the show, we'll be joined by our guests from the Humane Society, so stay tuned.
I like K-State mainly for the family atmosphere.
Once you're here, you're greeted with a smiling face.
You could step onto K-State's campus and feel that without even talking to anyone, that it's welcoming.
The administrators and faculty, they remember your name.
Anywhere you go, someone's there to help you and to smile at you.
Half of campus is going to be wearing purple, and you know that there's that K-State pride.
It's really evident that you can do something and you can be somebody and you can really define yourself here.
I'm a part of the campus.
K-State to me is home.
And that kind of gives me a sense of place.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
Welcome back. I'm Shelby Brunk.
And I'm Morgan Hulsman. Fireable tweets and posts are the topic for many faculty and employees on campus.
Channel 8 reporter Shanna Schmidt brings us the latest on how universities are trying to stay out of trouble on social media.
Thanks, ladies. The Kansas Board of Regents passed a social media policy that allows for the firing of faculty members and employees for improper use of media. Before universities went on winter break, which had a chilling effect on faculty, staff, and students at Kansas State University. Philip Nell, Distinguished Professor of English, has been very vocal.
It's so broadly defined that it could encompass all speech, period. Be unenforceable, not practical, and contrary to the mission of a university.
The policy was created in response to a Twitter post from a tenured University of Kansas professor in journalism. David Guth posted on his personal Twitter account reacting to the Washington Naval Shipyard shooting on September 16, 2013. The blood is on the hands of the NRA. Next time, let it be your sons and daughters. Shame on you. May God damn you. The tweet brought national attention to University of Kansas. KU suspended Guth with pay but could not fire him. Since that time, the Kansas Board of Regents created a policy under which faculty members and employees can be fired for improper use of social media.
A couple of the regents expressed that their own feelings had been hurt by the criticism of the policy. I had not thought that any of the regents were such delicate flowers.
K-State student Jordan Thomas says this will directly affect students.
So no, I don't think many students realize how imminent and actually impactful this policy is. I mean, it's in effect. It's the only policy like this in the country.
Shanna, is there anything else that students need to know about this?
And I'm also curious because I work for the Royal Purple Yearbook on campus.
Well, there are a couple of things that have been started, a few social media campaigns. They have on Twitter, you can do hashtag KSSpeech after anything you post. There's also a Facebook page as well, Protest for Speech, where you can get on there and get information about April 16th when they hope to have a bunch of students there to help the Kansas Board of Regents know that they do want this policy changed.
Awesome. Thank you, Shanna.
Thank you. There are currently 155 prisoners at the U.S. military prison in the U.S. Naval Base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. The prison has been used since 2002 to detain prisoners captured in the War on Terror. In accordance with the law of the war, the prisoners can be imprisoned indefinitely without trial until the end of the conflict. Channel 8 reporter Jason Beats recently interviewed a lawyer who represented Mohammed Jawad, a former Guantanamo prisoner, at his military trial. As this story is about to make the trial, the clear allegations against Jawad were not as strong as they first appeared.
Jawad said he did not throw the grenade. When his lawyer, David Fracht, took the case, he was told that there is a strong case against his client.
When I was initially assigned this case, what I was told was, well, he confessed twice under oath, when we have multiple eyewitnesses who saw him do it. Well, that sounds like a pretty strong case, so I was a little worried.
The judge in Jawad's case ruled that the confession given to the Afghan government was the product of torture.
The police, Afghan police, first of all, they punched him in the nose and broke his nose. And they told him that if he did not confess, they would track down his mother or his member of his family and kill him.
The confession he was handed to sign was written in a language he couldn't speak.
It should be noted that Muhammad was illiterate, could not read or write in his own language, certainly in another language.
According to Jawad, what he thought was his release document was in reality a confession he couldn't read. Jawad also gave a confession to U.S. interrogators under abusive treatment.
One of the first things that they did to him was strip him naked and take nude photographs of him, which is a very clear violation of the Geneva Conventions. And so what Judge Henley ended up ruling, Colonel Stephen Henley, who was the chief trial judge of the U.S. Army, was that the effects of the torture by the Afghan police had not dissipated when he was placed in U.S. custody because the U.S. continued to mistreat him.
The prosecution's witness also turned out to be less than reliable.
I sent my co-counsel to Afghanistan to interview him, and the first thing he said is, how much are you going to pay me? The government gave me, X amount of dollars, what are you giving me?
The charges against Mohammed Jawad were dropped. He was released in August 2009 after spending 6.5 years at Guantanamo.
Unlike Jawad, 145 prisoners at Guantanamo remain imprisoned without charge. Without a trial to evaluate the evidence against them, it is unclear whether that evidence is unreliable as the evidence against Jawad. You can listen to Jason's full interview with former Guantanamo defense attorney David Fracht on the prosecution of other child soldiers like Jawad on Guantanamo at Jason's YouTube channel, Public Occurrences.
Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 went missing on Saturday, where the Gulf of Thailand meets the South China Sea. The head of Malaysia's investigation into the disappearance called the plane's fate an unprecedented mystery. The investigation into the disappearance is ongoing. Coming up, weather and sports.
Since opening its doors, the International Animal Health and Food Safety Institute has had literally thousands of people take advantage of the facilities and academic programs that are being developed. K-State Olathe offers a unique opportunity for scientists from industry and academia to work side by side, focused on addressing real-life issues and training the workforce. Progress is being achieved. K-State Olathe, now open for business.
Choose your direction and navigate the road to success. Discover opportunities. Make connections. Reach your destination. Earn a degree online from Kansas State University. Choose your direction. We'll help navigate.
Joined by our weatherman, Trent Ferguson, to tell us what to expect in the week ahead.
It seems, as yesterday happened, that Jack Frost was going to be gone, but seems like he's back again. What's going on?
Well, I don't think he's going to be back just yet, guys. Yesterday we had a little bit of rain come through, a little cold front, but the rest of the week looks like it's going to be nice. Let's take a look outside again. As you can see, the sun's out, ready to play, but it's still a little bit chilly. Lower 50s, middle 50s. We're going to check out the national scene right now. Over here on the West Coast, we got 60 degrees and 64 degrees down in LA. On the East Coast, there's a little bit milder temperatures, but there is that winter storm Vulcan coming through. If we can change the map to see this front. It missed us. Just got that little bit of rain. It missed us, and it's going to come through here and go straight through the northeast here. There's going to be a lot of snow. They're not done with snow yet, but the rest of the country looks like it's going to be a little bit sunny, small parts of precipitation down here in the Four Corners. Let's take a look at Kansas, see what we're looking at there. Western Kansas, sunny, mild temperatures, 51. Manhattan, 54. A little bit cloudy over here where they got most of the rain over there in KC. Your 5-day for Manhattan looks great. We got 60 degrees mostly everywhere. Today, high 54. Tonight, down to 31. Tomorrow, 67. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be nice Saturday, but there is just a slight chance of rain at night, 20%, and that carries in through Sunday, so there's going to be a little bit lower temperatures, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it stays nice. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Trent. Coming up next, a look at sports.
And one last look at weather.
I like K-State mainly for the family atmosphere.
Once you're here, you're greeted with a smiling face.
You can step onto K-State's campus and feel that without even talking to anyone, that it's welcoming.
The administrators and faculty, they remember your name.
Anywhere you go, someone's there to help you and to smile at you.
Half of campus is going to be wearing purple, and you know that there's that K-State pride.
It's really evident that you can do something and you can be somebody and you can really define yourself here.
I'm a part of the campus.
K-State to me is home.
And that kind of gives me a sense of place.
Who is going to help safely feed 9 billion people in the year 2050? Who will design sustainable cities that can flourish? Who is going to shed light on dark matter and origins of the universe? Where will we teach the scientists who will engineer our future? At one of the world's top research universities, Kansas State University.
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a waterhole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat way.
Sports reporter Shelby Dinkle for the latest on the Wildcat world of sports.
It's been a heavy news week for our sports desk, hasn't it been, Shelby?
Indeed, it has, Morgan. K-State sports went 3-2 this weekend. Baseball's home opener was against Iowa. Blair DeBoard hit one up the middle, and the first baseman loses sight of the ball. The Batcats go on to win the first game of 3-2. In Game 3 of the series, Tanner DeVinny hits a triple to center field, scoring in Mitch Meyer. The Batcats won the third game 12-8 to complete the 3-game sweep. The next home game is against Nebraska Omaha. The number 6 equestrian team goes unbeaten for the season at home with a win of 10-9 over TCU. Tennis won the doubles and 3 singles matches to give them a 4-3 victory over their in-state rival Wichita State. Men's basketball fell to Baylor 76-74 on senior night. Freshman Marcus Foster was named to the Big 12 second team all-conference and is a member of the newcomer team. Thomas Gibson and Will Spradling received honorable mention. The women's basketball team lost in overtime to KU 87-84 in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. After the loss, the team now faces a new challenge in the offseason. Athletics Director John Curry announced that Deb Patterson was relieved of her duties as the head coach of the women's basketball team. Patterson was the head coach for 18 years and was the winningest coach in K-State women's basketball history. Patterson has the longest stretch of coaching at K-State. The only person to have more than her is Bill Snyder, but only after his return to the football team in 2009. Associate head coach Cammie Etheridge will serve as intern head coach until a new coach is named. We're already past the 100-hour mark it took the university to hire Bruce Weber for the men's basketball coach.
There's no doubt that Deb Patterson's dismissal will have a huge impact on the team. After the break, one final look at today's weather.
We'll be right back.
Wired Magazine calls him the explainer. His students call him amazing. Over 20 million YouTube views show that Associate Anthropology Professor Michael Wesch is transforming higher education. Translated to more than 20 languages and counting, Professor Wesch's teachings still share one common voice: passion. And whether you're learning live or online, that passion is contagious. And that passion is one of the leading reasons Kansas State University is first among U.S. public research universities in producing U.S. Case Carnegie Professors of the Year. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Nearly 150 years ago, the first native limestone was carved into the campus of Kansas State University. Since that time, K-State has known what it takes to rise to the challenge. Now, we're challenging ourselves to become a top 50 public research university by the year 2025. To reach that status, our research dollars, endowment, career award winners, and patents are growing to match our internationally recognized programs and research. K-State 2025 is more than a challenge, it's a commitment. A commitment we'll keep. Because where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Morgan Hulsman.
I'm Shelby Brunk.
East of campus is the Lazy Heart D Ranch, run by Ed Dillinger in Westmoreland, Kansas, and home to dozens of bison. Dillinger has been running the ranch for over 20 years, and he is passionate about his buffalo. His daily schedule depends on whether or not he has a tour to give. Otherwise, Ed spends his day tending to his bison.
But they're an interesting breed to work with. They're a wild animal. Wild animals are reading your body language all the time, so you need to be reading theirs, and that way you have fewer surprises. But I find them interesting to just hang out with.
Next week, Channel 8 News will take you out on the farm with Ed Dillinger and give you a more in-depth look inside life out on the ranch. We have just enough time to take one more last look at outside.
Right now, it's still sunny outside. The rest of the day is going to look well. Mild temperatures around 50. Might need a light jacket still, ladies. But otherwise, the sun's going to be out. This weekend, I was out on my yard playing yard games, so it was a lot of fun. Hopefully it stays that way and we get more spring-like temperatures.
Speaking of spring break, it's coming up. We're getting some warm weather. What's everybody doing for spring break?
Well, I'm actually taking a road trip to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Gonna be a few of us going down there, hang out, hopefully some nice weather. It actually has been saying it's nicer here than there, so we're hoping that changes. How about you, Trent?
I am staying in town to work. I gotta make money before I can go places, so
Right.
Will be fun.
Yeah, well, we'll be sure to tune in next week and see how that weather's looking for us. Maybe we'll have a little spring break for ourselves, in Kansas City and other places like that.
Maybe. Looks nice.
How about you, Morgan?
I am headed down to South Padre Island with a few of my friends, which I'm really excited for. But
that's all we have. Thank you.
You can find it. Okay.
Since opening its doors, the International Animal Health and Food Safety Institute has had literally thousands of people take advantage of the facilities and academic programs that are being developed. K-State Olathe offers a unique opportunity for scientists from industry and academia to work side by side, focused on addressing real-life issues and training the workforce. Progress is being achieved. K-State Olathe, now open for business.